Welcome back, guys. We are going to look at a few more allegedly unexplained videos, trying to make sense of them, explain them, debunk them. We've got 2 UFO videos today and one kind of cryptid thing that I want to share with you guys. It's quite interesting. We'll get to that in the end. But the first one I want to look at is a post that appeared a few days ago, 5 days ago, on Reddit, okay, and it's titled MI6 Found UFOs with a video. I came across this stating that MI6 Special Forces in the UK came across a UFO. There's a video taken from the jet showing 2 disc-shaped UFOs. Can we dig deeper about this? What's going on? So I was intrigued, okay? Turns out it's an article in Italian on an Italian website called Il Giornale d'Italia. Obviously, my Italian is flawless, but luckily we have Google, and Google helps us to translate it into a language we can understand. And it reads, UFO disc traveling at hypersonic speed, shot down in the United Kingdom. MI6 officer says it performed maneuvers that were impossible for military aircraft. A secret program for the recovery of unidentified flying objects is underway in the United States. An MI6 officer has revealed, and it's funny because it really gets only those 3 very short paragraphs that don't say anything. Just that they've kind of recovered an unconventional aircraft. It doesn't say like how that happened or give any additional context, only that it happened over northern England apparently, and that the allegedly downed disc-shaped object traveled at hypersonic speed. So we don't know anything about this, whatever this means, but it comes with this video, and that's what intrigued me. Okay, let's take a look at this video. It doesn't have any sound, but you can see another jet there on the top right. They put their little watermark of the newspaper there, and it looks fairly real, right? I'm looking at this. First, I was in awe. I was like, hold on a second. This kind of looks fairly legit. It shows these 2 disc-shaped objects kind of flying alongside these. Oh, here we go. Suddenly we get audio. So we can see these 2 disc-shaped objects kind of flying alongside these 2 jets. And I was like, how can we debunk this, right? Could it just be CGI? That would be the easy way out. It does look a little bit wonky looking at it. However, it does look kind of real to me, right? As real as something like this can look. But the funny thing is that in no shape or form there's any context given in this article about this video. It doesn't say this has been video that's been taken with it during the incident or anything that would give it context. So if you dig a little bit deeper, just in case you come across this video, it turns out this is from a video game. The video game is called DCS, and there are people in the comments who say I play a ton of DCS. This is 100% from DCS with the saucers modded in. There are even pre-existing UFO mods. They could have easily done it with this. I'm beyond shadow of a doubt certain that this is DCS. I also believe Grush is telling the truth, but this one ain't it. And people are sharing videos from the same video game. Keep in mind the reason why you get this fairly natural head movement instead of like, let's say, how a mouse would move in a video game is because people are playing these games in VR, right? So they're wearing headsets, and as they're moving their head around in a kind of natural way, you get this effect. Also notice how it kind of jitters left and right of the screen, right? And that is an effect, I assume, from recording the footage through the VR headset. And my theory is that that is why they cropped it off left and right, and why we only get kind of the center shot of it because they didn't want to have the jitter in it. People are also pointing out that there is this recording.
Like lines coming down below, but I can't see anything below it. Like it on the mouse. Up there to the south.
That apparently is, like, this is an actual recording from like some jet pilots that shot down something over Lake Huron a while back, and it looks like this recording was used in the video that we just looked at. It sounds very similar. So people are pretty sure that this Italian video is basically just a CGI embellishment that accompanies the article. Okay, so nobody ever really claimed that this is real, but for whatever reason they try to make it look real. There is no reference to it in the article. So, I mean, that was an easy debunk. It is basically from a video game. But we had stuff like this in the past, right? Where we had footage from war zones, and then it turned out that it was footage from Arma 3, I think the video game, where they were shooting down airplanes. It just looked kind of real if you don't look twice. So that's what this is. This one is debunked. Let's move over to the next one, and this one is indeed slightly more tricky to debunk. I'm not sure I can reliably debunk or explain it. It's an interesting piece of footage that kind of made the circles around the internet just 2 days ago, and it's called Possible UFO over New York City. Let's take a look. Someone filmed this out of a window, I assume out of an airplane, and flying over New York City, and you get a did you see it? I mean, notice the beautiful view. And lots of people are commenting underneath that. Like, I can see my house from here. But did you notice the UFO flying by? There it is. Okay, it moves very, very fast. So luckily, the nifty UFO researchers on Twitter slowed it down and are giving us a frame-by-frame analysis of this. So let's take a look at that. And there it comes. I think we're getting 4 frames, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 4.5 frames. We're getting 4.5 frames of this so-called UFO. Now, a few things to mention here. First of all, I notice that it's tilted forward. We've seen this in videos in the past, right? Which always kind of indicates to me that it is some kind of propeller-driven thing like a drone. Because would a UFO really need to tilt forward in order to fly forward? That doesn't make that much sense. But overall, I mean, that's why I'm saying I'm not sure I can actually debunk this one, because it's very inconclusive to analyze something based on basically 4 frames. One more thing that stands out to me looking at that is if they would be flying past this with an airplane, and presumably this object is also moving forward at a certain speed, so you have 2 objects really fast flying past each other, you would naturally see some kind of motion blur behind this object. Now, it's possible that part of what we see here is actually motion blur, right? That just the back of the little black object is actually the object like stretching itself out, kind of creating like a trail of blur, but it doesn't really look like that. We also get like this footage here, where someone just stabilized it and looped the 4 frames so you can get a rough idea of how it looks like. To me, to be honest, it looks like a blacked out drone, like a drone that has some depth to it and that goes around, and that's why it's tilted. It kind of is in line with that. But again, obviously, it's a bit tricky to analyze. So I would be curious to hear your thoughts on this actually. What do you think this is? Is it aliens? Is it the final confirmation of aliens landing or flying, visiting our planet? Leave any of your thoughts down in the comment section below. It doesn't look convincing to me. And we know that presumably this was recorded with a phone. Phone shutters can create all kinds of weird effects with shutter speed and so on. So I have to assume that it's probably not aliens. People then also went through the effort of enhancing it, taking the frames and sharpening them using AI tools, and suddenly we get all kinds of detail that we couldn't see before. And the reason why I'm putting this in here is just kind of to give you guys almost like a warning. Be aware that these kinds of amplified and enhanced images are most of the time nonsense, right? Like this one, this is a version of Jeremy Corbell's famous jellyfish UFO enhanced using AI, and this is the original image, and you can just see there's not much left of it. And suddenly people start to interpret all kinds of things in it, saying, oh, look, there's an alien head, you know, can you see it? There's the mouth and there are the eyes. And it's like, that's not really there. This is just your AI giving you details that are not really there. I mean, I give you this example where they take a pixelated image, which is clearly Barack Obama. And then when you actually enhance it using AI, that's the image you get. Okay, so you just can't trust AI-enhanced imagery in that way. This is complete nonsense. And as much as I would love to see that kind of detail and say, oh, look, it's almost cut in half and the front looks like a cockpit and some kind of glass. And it's like, no, stop it. It's not there, okay? Don't trust AI-enhanced imagery. But let's look at the final, it's not a clip, an image of a mysterious cryptid story today. And that is this one, okay? Slight trigger warning, it's a little bit disgusting, but it's a mummified giant finger which was found in Egypt in 1988 by Gregor Spörri. The finger was said to be 15 inches long, which is about 38 centimeters, and it is estimated that the finger would have had to come off of something about 16 feet tall giants confirmed, okay? Obviously. Now, before we go deeper into this, I want you guys to switch on your common sense. Look at this with a common sense hat on. This dude found this somewhere in the desert, somewhere in Egypt. And here he is coming out of the desert claiming to have found this giant finger. And I'm just saying like, okay, where is it today? If this would be a provable, authentic, real finger of a giant, the only one in existence that we can prove to be real, where is it? Well, it mysteriously disappeared. Nobody really knows where it is. Also, no X-ray of it exists. No experts ever really looked at it and analyzed it. I mean, let's be honest. A discovery like that would shatter the Earth's history. Here is a finger of a creature that could be 16 feet tall. You know, now we have final proof that giants potentially are, you know, it makes no sense. The whole thing, if you just start to ask a few basic questions, everything falls apart. It crumbles like a house of cards. Just like when Joseph Smith found some gold tables or whatever he found. Right? It's like, I found this. It's the revelation of the gods. Trust me, bro. I have seen the word of our God. it's like, no, dude, we need a little bit more than that. Now, if you go into the comments, people are speculating that it might be a fossilized camel's foot, and the fossilization makes it look like a giant finger. However, let me warn you, please do not search for camel toe. Okay, don't search for camel toe on Google because you want to research it. This makes the research basically impossible because we just can't search for mummified camel toes. That would be a foolish thing to Google, not gonna lie. But I think one thing is pretty much confirmed. It's not a giant finger. Okay, it's not a finger from some kind of giant that proves all of our Earth history wrong. And that becomes pretty clear when you just start asking a few normal, rational questions. So guys, these were 3 more cases. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on these. Besides the first one, which was clearly a video game, the other 2, you know, I have no solid evidence to debunk them. I just have a rational approach that makes it pretty clear that it's not real. But maybe you disagree. Okay, so feel free to leave all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. Also subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it maybe with your friends, okay, so we can grow the numbers and I can do more content like this because that's really what it's all about. So guys, I appreciate you watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Bye.